Hello, everybody. We're back here for live with on Dig Deep Coaching, another one of our athlete interviews. So we had last time Darren Rafferty on with us, and this week we're having an athlete interview with Lucas Tires. Lucas is a British rider and is Spanish based, is an international cyclist and has been racing at a very last year or two, and has represented a lot of big teams and big clubs, and is going to join us today to talk about his success to date in the Spanish scene, talking about all his experiences of being a young 17 and 18-year-old living in a foreign country. So we're super keen to get talking to Lucas and to learn all of his wisdom. So we're going to try and get Lucas on. So just bear with me, Lucas. Okay, Lucas, there we go. So, again, thanks everybody who's jumped on and is gonna hopefully listen to us ramble on just about everything from his experience in under 23 racing. He rides obviously for quite a big prominent team in Spain, and I think Lucas is just having some connection issues. Just leave it with us. So, boom. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, here we go. Hi, Lucas.
Hey, all good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, there we go. Yep.
All
World
good.
of technology back
Is
again.
it all working for me this side?
Working good. So
Okay.
Lucas is in Spain. Whereabouts are you based in Spain?
In Ponferrada. So yeah, I mean it's quite hard to tell someone kind of where it is. It's about 4 hours from the nearest biggest city. So it's kind of like northwest Spain.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's like good for training. Quite quiet roads and good mountains. So yeah, all good.
Yeah. A bit different from where you're originally from, or where your home is.
Yeah.
Maybe if you want to explain a bit about your background, where you're from,
Yeah.
your starting journey into cycling.
Yeah. I'm from near Derby. It's Burton-on-Trent really, so near Derby, and just underneath the Peak District. So it's quite it's quite nice to train in. Quite quiet too. So always head up to the peaks for a longer ride, ride the climbs and whatever. So I think it's hard to say, but I think I do prefer riding these roads in Spain rather than home roads, to be fair. But yeah, no, both are good. Both are good.
Yeah, and obviously, being 10 or 15 degrees warmer probably helps as well. Certainly
Definitely.
would do whenever you're out doing 4 or 5, 6 hours that
Yeah.
riding around, and you also don't have your coach Dan Flaming half willing you for 4 or 5 hours a day as well, which he really really
Yeah.
enjoys doing, as we all as
Yeah.
we've all
Yeah.
experienced.
No.
So you obviously came from the Cyclovision club, and Cyclovision being a
Mm.
family business as well, and Cyclovision
Yeah.
has obviously brought through a lot of prominent riders. Obviously, your
Mm.
sister riding for
Mm.
Droxel Cole as well, and
Mm.
Toby Barnes, and there's obviously a lot of riders that have gone on to represent Great Britain and international teams. So maybe just tell us a wee bit just about that club and sort of that
Yeah.
environment that you came through.
Yeah. So, the Cycle Division team kind of, I think it was like Chris Walker set it up for, kind of for his kids. So they kind of were the first riders, and then they kind of, just all their friends kind of ended up riding for the team and doing quite well. And then the shop was based up by Alfreton, but now it's in Barton and Eadwood. So kind of like switched from a northern based team to like a Midlands-based team. So then a lot of the Midlands riders joined the team. So yeah, like Toby Barnes and Matt Kingston, Dan Barnes. So yeah, we had quite like a good Midlands team too. So yeah, I think I did ride. I think I started racing like in under 10s, but I did like one race and yeah, I think I played a lot more football, so I used to get dropped every week. So I didn't really enjoy it to start with, but I kept going, and then kind of got into it more kind of under 16 and stopped playing football, and yeah, enjoyed it a lot more, and yeah, so that's kind of how I came into it.
How you came into it, and obviously with your sister as well being very prominent professional in the women's scene as well. Obviously the genes in the family are good, and
Yeah,
the environment as well. Whenever you see success, or you see as well family members and I suppose close friends. When it's a team like that, other riders succeeding, success breeds success sometimes, and it's always a good energy to sort of feel off. So
yeah, definitely. Well, I think maybe that was the reason why I kept cycling, was because I kind of like see Alice going out on a ride with my dad, and I was like, oh well, I can't let her be like one up on me kind of thing. So I'd have to go out just to say she didn't get one up on me. So that's maybe why I kept going. But then, yeah, because I played a lot more football, I was kind of just, like really enjoyed the football and did cycling a little bit. But then, yeah, I think when Alice started doing quite well in like under 16s kind of thing, and we started riding a bit more and it got a bit better, which helped. So then, I guess you enjoy it a bit more and more. So when she started doing well, kind of, motivated me to, train a bit more, and kind of just went from there.
Sibling rivalry is a great asset to motivation. So
definitely.
But so tell us just a wee bit about the team that you ride for in Spain, and also a little bit about you've been here last year, or you were based in Spain as a junior. And I suppose that transition, leaving the UK and leaving a family and a home to go live on your own in a foreign country, presumably not knowing the language, not knowing really anybody either. So maybe tell us just a wee bit about that transition, maybe some for those young riders who are maybe ambitioning to do the same as what you've done.
Yeah, so the team is Prevale, Maglia, Conform, and Benbibre, so it's a bit of a long name.
Easy.
Yeah, the base, it's like Castellon, so it's like, region in the middle of Spain. And there isn't, not too much around here, so nearest airport's like 2.5 hours away, and it's also quite a small airport, so it's not easy to get to. But I rode for the team in 2020, so first year junior. Another Dig Deep rider, Devon Short, he kind of put me in contact and kind of got me in the team, because he'd been racing in Spain for a year or so he knew had a few contacts. So that's how I kind of found the team. He found the team for me. So and I came and did a Copper Espana in the first before COVID started. Like really enjoyed that. So I think I was at top 22. So it's nice to not get hammered in your first race. So I don't think I'd have came back if I had a shot in the first one. I would have called it a day there. So it's quite good. I did well in the first one, and kind of fueled the motivation to come back and do more. So after COVID, I after the lockdowns, I came back and did a few stage races as well. And I think because it's so different to what I'd been doing before, and I'd only done youth racing, so there's a lot to learn. With fueling and hydrating, so I made a few mistakes there. So then and then like I came back again towards the end of the year, and I was doing quite well. So kind of always wanted to come back and always wanted to do some more. So that was the first year junior, and then I came back in the second year junior, and
good
same again,
success.
like, learning a bit more, and so you pick up things from every trips, and maybe you don't get a result, but you like pick up something you learn along the way. But it was also in the junior team, there was always guys who spoke English, because I think all the Spanish guys, they learn English in school, so the English is pretty good in the Spanish junior team. But this year, the main difference is, I think in all the races, we're probably like 7 guys, and there'll be only one Spanish guy, because they're all like South Americans and whatever. So I don't think they learn English as much. So I've definitely been having to get like learn a lot more Spanish to be able to converse and understand. So I've actually picked up quite a lot over the last three months. And then living here too. Sorry, what was he going to say?
I was going to say, and the team instructions, I'm assuming from the team manager, the management, the team, obviously they're in Spanish, and, being a junior, you're 18 years old now, and obviously being 17, 16 when you were there, you had to get a quick grasp on what was being told of you, because the responsiveness of the instructions needs to be pretty quick. So I'm sure you kind of learned what attack meant, or close a gap, or take a bottle, or whatever that may be.
I think in junior that I my Spanish wasn't very good at all, but I could understand the cycling terms. So in the team meeting, I'd understand get a grasp of what was going on and what the plan was and where the important points of the race were. So I could understand in juniors, but I think with living here, and we train with the guys from the team, so you're always like speaking, and they're quite good. They don't speak much English, but they're good at like speaking like simple Spanish. So they say it slowly and simply, so you can understand quite well. So I can like speak with them and have conversations with them quite easily now. So going away with the races, you can always understand what's going on and converse. But
and it's a good environment. I was just going to say it's a good learning process to be young and to put yourself into that environment that is, you have to learn about the social aspect of living in a different country, learning to live with different people. And I mean, I suppose from personal experience, I went to France whenever I was about 17 as a junior, and went through all the under 23 at that time. And again, it was a similar, I suppose a similar pathway, in the sense of, if you want to make friends, or if you want to not mess things up in a race, you got to learn pretty quick. And sort of, get on with it, I suppose. So the only problem I had, I didn't have Google Translate or a mobile phone. I won't tell you how to hold on, but so that was my downfall. So
well, I think that's the thing also, when you now when I go away to a race, you can it's like a lot nicer when you can converse and have a chat with your teammates and not be just sat there in silence, because you can't speak their language. So that's nice, And then living here too, I live with he's Irish, so he's obviously speaks English, so it's nice to live with someone who can speak English, and you're not always trying to speak a foreign language. You can you have like a comfort speaking your own language too.
And again, that I suppose whenever you're tired, whenever you're trained a lot or come back from a race, you can switch the brain off a wee bit, and I suppose speak English and converse with somebody that understands you. I have many English people don't understand me whenever I'm talking quickly, so I kind of understand that a little bit. But so first year under 23, it's a big move generally
Mm.
coming from junior to under 23. But, you know, being in a team that is one of the biggest amateur teams in Spain, coming into this, you know, realm of high competition, many pros, you know, many world tour riders are coming from this scene. Tell us a little
Mm.
bit about the scene in Spain, the amateur scene in Spain, how the season is
Mm.
set out, and
Yeah.
maybe how you felt of this, the transition from junior into under 23.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, firstly, the transition from junior to under 23. I think yeah. I don't know. I didn't really. Um, I'm not sure how. Yeah. How. I think I made the transition quite well, like quite smoothly. I never felt like I lacked much at the end of a race so far, and kind of, I think maybe it's down to fueling and yeah, hydrating. You're not depleted getting to the end of a race, and I think
Mm-hmm.
I've always trained. I've always done the longer rides, and I think they're the kind of rides I enjoyed the most. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd always want to be doing the longer rides. So maybe I already had some good endurance, and then with the fueling, hydrating, I think becomes a lot more important. If you tick that box, I think you should get the end of the race with a bit of gas in the tank still. So I think the transition I didn't really feel with much of a big issue really. I felt like
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stepped up kind of quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the races are very similar. They're just that hour longer. So the climbs and stuff are quite similar to the junior races here in Spain. So I think that was okay. But and then the kind of the way the scene's set out is
Yeah.
it's kind of all the 1 days at the start of the year. So it's like a Coppa Espana series. So I think it's 10 rounds of the Coppa Espana. So it's over the course of I think 3 months. So it's a couple of weeks off. So it does come quite thick and fast. A race every weekend. And it is a bit of a mix of everything. We have a couple like completely pan flat rounds. And then there's like a few rounds where it could go either way. It could be a sprinter who does well, or it could, if the climbs erode aggressively, it'll be a climber who can win. And then there's some like ridiculously hilly, like mountainous ones. So it's quite nice. It's a bit of everything. So it's not all the same every week. You've always it's always mixed up, and also it's quite good for developing as a rider. You're not always doing all flat races, and so you learn. There sometimes can be a bit of wind, so you learn how to position and ride in the wind and in the crosswind. So, and then you obviously going down the descents and wet descents and whatever. So you can. It's quite good in that sense. You do a bit of everything, and then I think the way kind of the season's kind of the first part of the season ended now with the Coppa Espana finishing, and then we kind of transition into the stage races from now on. So I think they'll go from now to the end of September. I think if the team was in them all and you're selected, you could race a stage race every week to the end of September from now. So quite.
Which is a lot. And I appreciate the cleanness of the start of the year is just 1 day racing. The end of the year is just stage racing. And I suppose from a coaching perspective, it's easier for people like us whenever we're trying to get you ready for specific demands of a 1 day race, and obviously the different types of training and the requirement, the fatigue resistance, etc. is different between obviously being strong in a 1 day race and being strong for a stage race. So it makes the training that little bit more focused on our end, more focused on how we kind of develop somebody like yourself and for those particular races. And obviously you being very much prominent in the climbs and the longer climbs as well. That you were able to show that talent and ability, and I think you had the majority of your Copa España were in the top 10, and eighth overall as well in under 23, which like is an incredible result for being 18 years old and probably the youngest rider up there in the Copa España amongst some of the a lot of guys that have World Tour contracts, a lot of guys who've maybe come down from World Tour as well. The scene there is very, very strong. So I mean, how did you feel in the sense of confidence and your insights from this first part of the year?
Yeah, well, I think it was nice to like have a good start to the year and start strongly. I think it really did help. I think for the confidence, it's really it was nice to start the year well, knowing you are capable of being up there in the races. I think if I had a bad start to the year, you wouldn't be. I think maybe not as motivated. You kind of lose a bit of motivation thinking you had a lot of work to do. Whereas if I had quite a good start, so it was quite good for the motivation to know I'm not far off the podium and a win. So to know you're in the ballpark, nice. Thanks.
And I know the last race of the Copa España, you had a bit of an epic day out with a 70-kilometer odd breakaway, and that was a very hilly stage or a very hilly race. There was 3,500 meters of climbing, if I'm right, or maybe was it more?
I think 3,700 meters. So it was a big day out. Because I kind of like on a perfect day, maybe I could on my best ever day, and the race go kind of my way, I could maybe kind of podium in the races, but I didn't. I had like quite a few top 10s and then a top 5 too. So I kind of really wanted to, kind of go big and try and see what I could do. Because we'd gone over the biggest climb of the race, and it didn't really go as hard as I thought it was going to. So we descended down the other side, and then I attacked kind of in the valley. So it was quite a way out, and I looked at my Garmin, and like I saw we'd already done 4 hours, and then on a usual race, you get to the 4 hour mark and it's probably like 5k to go. But we still had like 70k to go. So I didn't really plan it, but it just happened. And then obviously when you're in a break, you got to commit to it. So we got pretty close. We got 3k to go. Not quite. So maybe next time.
Again, experience, and I suppose the fact that you had the ability to even attack after 4 hours of racing, and being able to give it a lash as well shows very good development in the sense that you were able to go through that first part of the year and finish that first part of the season strong. And I know there's been again a lot of interest in your results, and a lot of interest not just from nationally there in Spain, but also with some pro teams that have been speaking to you, and there's interest in your what you're going to do in the future. And maybe tell us a little bit just about your thoughts on, I suppose, what the sensations are like when you're starting to get into that world and people are starting to talk about you and looking at these potential options going forward in the future. I mean, how does that feel?
Yeah, I think the main thing, which was nice, was to kind of know, it wasn't going unnoticed. You kind of, I think, kind of being on a, not doing all the biggest races. You see, the under 23 races. You kind of think maybe, you could go unnoticed and no one would really see the results, or no one would really take much notice of, what's going on in the Spanish scene. But it's quite nice to know, if you are doing well and you are getting results, there will be kind of teams that will see it, and teams that will know the standard and know that it's quite high standard. So I think that was the main thing, kind of fulfilled me with a bit of confidence, knowing if I do get some really top results, then there is like a possibility of taking the next step up, I guess.
Yeah, and like as we see with modern day cycling as well, that teams are wanting to invest in younger and younger riders. Many times success, but also I think teams as well are getting more professional in their duty of care to young riders, and not like 20 years ago when a 22-year-old turned pro, they were still racing. They were maybe racing 90 days a year or whatever it is. But now there's obviously that sort of a bit more care and understanding about how to long-term develop riders. So again, it's great that, like you said, people are noticing it, and for the motivation going forward, that if you do get a result, and when you do get a result, that it is being noticed, and it's not a result and then you're trying to tell people, here, look at me, so it's already in people's radar. So,
I think
so tell us.
What I was going to say is kind of also the way it's going. I think teams are looking for younger and younger riders. So I think I think maybe the best way to do it is to kind of try and be as good as you can to start with, and then because sometimes when a rider gets to like 24, 25, they're like they're winning everything, but the kind of the team would look at them and say like where else they're going to go, how much better they can get. But I think maybe if you're doing well when you're still young, I guess they always see that there's some potential there.
Yeah, the growth to develop. And again, for you, it's important that you're in a team as well that's allowing you to do those races, which is a big, I think, is a big step up, and specifically a kind of similar, I suppose, way that we talked with Darren on our last podcast, our last Instagram live, was going through the junior scene as well and getting that experience in international racing as a junior, being able to sort of dip your toe in that a little bit, both from a cultural side, knowing what's in front of you, but also tactically in racing, that you understand, okay, this is the way racing is in Europe, and this is what you've got to do to be competitive at this level. So again, it's those stepping stones, I think, are pretty crucial for ready going forward, like yourself, and hopefully we're able to see the rewards of that going forward. So but so a little bit going towards the end of the year and in the future, I mean, what have you anything specific goals? I know you have a lot of stage races. Sounds like you're going to be a busy man, but is there anything particular that stands out, or any individual races that obviously you've got the British national champs as well, and, potential some international selection, but is there anything particular?
I think it all comes pretty thick and fast. I think we've got a couple races, good like big stage races in July, and I think in August, I think we're going to Italy and doing a couple races there. I think we're doing I don't know if you know GP Capodarco. So I think that's like a 23 UCI race. So I think that will be maybe one of my goals, that race, because I think it's like could suit me quite well. I think there's like a flat circuit to start, and then a quite a hilly circuit.
Lots of hills.
I think that'll be one of my goals. For the second part of the season, and then there's like for September. I think there's four stage races, all 4 days in September, so one every week. I think just go trying to get some form September. There'll be plenty of opportunities to use
like a grand tour. It's like a grand tour added all together.
15 days of racing in 30 days, so it'd be pretty good, that. So go well for them, I think, would be the main goal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, rather you than me, should I say? So I don't think I would get out of the neutralized zone. But yeah, so first of all, we appreciate you taking time to
Mm.
talk to us this evening or this morning or wherever you are. And
Yeah.
here in Australia, and it's coming up to 9:30 at night. But again, for us, it's great to see writers like yourselves who we've been working with for a number of years, and you've obviously been coached by Dan
Mm.
Fleeman, who's a local to you there
Yeah.
where you live in the UK, but also being able to sort of transition from youth to junior and to under 23, and following that trajectory is very important. And also, from a motivation point of view and a confidence point of view, I think it's great for everybody to do that. And no doubt we will be seeing you race up lots of big mountains pretty quick going forward in the future. So, but yeah. So listen, I just want to say thanks very much, and appreciate
Yeah.
your
Well, thank you as
time.
well.
And for anybody else who wants to help or wants to inquire about coaching or whatnot, who's watching this video, they can contact us on our Instagram chat or on our link on our bio to or info@digdeepcoaching.com, and yeah, we'll be able to help. So anyway, Lucas, thanks very much, and
Very much.
enjoy the rest of the week in sunny Spain. And yeah, no doubt we'll see you in the future.
And you.
So,
Thanks very much.
okay,
Bye.
all right. Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye.